Brazil, Canada, Kazakhstan, South Korea, Myanmar, and Nigeria. What do these countries have in common? Broadly speaking, they have many similarities, but notably their governments have all undertaken the Herculean task of uprooting their capital cities. This list is hardly exhaustive, and there are examples all around the globe, with more than a dozen countries moving their capitals to another sites since 1950. In 2019, Indonesia's President Joko Widodo announced his commitment to move the capital city to East Kalimantan and leave Jakarta as the nation's central business hub.
Dengan ini saya mohon izin untuk memindahkan ibu kota negara kita ke Pulau Kalimantan.
As a result, Jokowi sparked a national conversation on the planned capital move and said he was open to ideas. So, I sat down with a number of foreign envoys in Jakarta whose countries have gone through similar experiences, so we could hear their stories and learn from their country's mistakes. I'm Apriza Pinandita, and this is Post-Jakarta. In this episode, I spoke to Kim Chang-beom, the South Korean ambassador to Indonesia, to find out what it takes to build a good capital city. The envoy's insight was timely with the recent announcement that South Korea would aid Indonesia in the development of its new capital. In 2007, South Korea started construction of its new 72 square kilometer administrative capital, Sejong. As of 2019, the East Asian country had relocated 42 government bodies to the new city, which strives to be self-sufficient. Located in the west-central Hoseo region, 120 kilometers south of Seoul, traveling to Sejong takes around 45 minutes by high-speed train. Ambassador Kim said that the creation of Sejong was not the relocation of the capital city itself, but of some of the key functions of the executive branches and administrative bodies.
Well, there's the simple reason why we have initiated this whole process of setting up a new administrative city, apart from this capital city of Seoul, is uneven development of the whole country. Because Korea has been developing quite fast. It's more like through a compressed growth strategy. So we've been undergoing a big transformation in our economic lives. But during this whole process of development and modernization and industrialization, we were not able to accomplish equal and even development or growth of the whole country.
Home to around 15 government-funded research institutions, Sejong is now moving toward becoming a self-reliant and self-sufficient city with an expected population of 500,000 when the full relocation is completed in 2030. When the plan first emerged in 2004, there was some public debate about whether it was really necessary to relocate. However, with a distance similar in length to Jakarta and Bandung, and with the aid of speedy mass transportation, some government officials still choose to commute from their homes in Seoul instead of moving to Sejong. While it is definitely still work in progress even after 14 years, has the relocation process lived up to the expectations?
So it might take some time because whether it's really self-sufficient in the environment and living conditions, which is to be seen later on.
Kim suggested basic elements in urban planning to make the new capital a great success.
Actually, this Korea has been putting a lot of energy into making this Sejong city smart and green city. So I think we hope to see that a new capital city in Indonesia will be smarter, greener, and more livable.
Taking Sejong as an example, the ambassador urged Indonesia to make the new capital livable for not only Indonesians, but also for foreigners, so it could attract prospective investors.
So it might take some time to just move one government department, ministries or agencies to that new capital city. It's a bit easier one. Just build a big government complex and move the public servants to those areas would be not that difficult part, but I think that's how to make Indonesian citizens feel inclined to move to that city. And also not only just move to that new capital, but also to prosper there with more job opportunities, with their talents being kind of well appreciated by the business owners, by the entrepreneurs. That's something is requiring a lot of groundworks and also kind of the dialogue with the business communities, with the civil societies and academic institutions. So that is a process.
The $19 billion grant vision of Sejong, while delivering 110,000 residential buildings, 280 kilometers of roads, 98 parks and 96 schools, has not been without its challenges. The biggest lesson learned, Ambassador Kim said, is that a new city should be self-reliant. And while there continues to be tweaks to the city to become more self-sufficient, there's always more that can be done to meet the government's expectations.
We have tried to set up intelligence mass transport system within the city of Sejong and also surrounding the area. It can be well and easily and conveniently connected with other big transport hub, but still it's not up to our expectation. It's a bit difficult to get speedy public transit system.
For a developed country like South Korea, developing a self-reliant and smart city should not be complicated. Yet, it still requires a willingness from the people to go along with the government's grand vision to make it a great success.